Hello, are we live? Ah, there we are. Let me send a quick chat just to see if that's working for me. Yes, okay. Sorry, I'm just figuring this all out. Not that anybody's watching right now, which is good. Okay, so I wanted to I don't know if you are new to this channel or not. Probably, maybe, who knows. But I like to make shorts. Actually, let me bring up my page. I like to make shorts on Japanese individuals in Japanese cinema history, and tell a little bit about their biographies. And it's about, and I try to do it on a fifth anniversary of their birth. So think 25th or 50th or 100th, anything like that. So, and I just wanted to, I guess, bring you guys along on how I research that. I don't know. It's pretty simple. Maybe boring. I don't know. Maybe you'll be interested. Actually, first things first, though. It is currently Japanuary. If you don't know, Japanuary is a letterbox challenge. You don't have to do it on letterbox though. I mean, you can do whatever you want. But if you are on letterbox, I definitely recommend you joining the Japanuary challenge. Uh, Ben's been putting it on for quite a few years now. I don't think he necessarily originated it, but he's been leading it for a while, and he provides a great selection of categories and films for you to choose from. You can watch 10, 20, 31 Japanese film in January, and anything you want. Just it's a nice time to get together and celebrate Japanese cinema as a little community, I guess. Lots of people participate. It's fun reading everybody's reviews. That's what I like to do. Not right now though. We're going to go back to this. So right now we're going to look at for the 11th. And this is my Obsidian notebook. You can see I've got previous birthdays. I've already got some for the 11th, but none on a 5th year. So we would be looking for, since it's 2026. So we're looking for 6 and 1. In other words, like 1926 or 1961. Anything like that. And generally, I just go through IMDb. You can use their advanced filters, and you can do. See, I have page topics. I have the birthplace Japan, which doesn't get everybody because not every Japanese actor was born in Japan. Toshiro Mifune is famously born in, I believe it would be Manchuria at the time of his birth. So you're not going to get everybody this way, but it is a good selection. And it's usually like the first step I take. All right, so let's see. Mariko Okada, a great actress, but not on a not for this. Let's see. 33. I just quickly looked at their birth dates. Hopefully it's available right here. 1925, 25, 1988, 1937, 72, 47. It's not looking good for the 11th. 1933, 1980. See this producer. Okay, that's somebody. But it looks like, yeah. Hmm. Looks like this person's done some stuff, but not necessarily a good selection. Here we've got 1941 animation. It looks like 1955, 1972, 76, 32, 85, 75. Here's another from 1941. Looks like this is probably, you get this a lot. Somebody who participated in the Olympics and it was televised, so probably somebody in sports, not an actor. 1981. Oh wow, that's huh. Oh wow. Okay, not an actor. 28, 1909, 1961. 1911, 84, another from 41. We're getting a good selection here. Okay, that seems to be everybody. So now we'll just go through each one. This person worked mainly in anime, which I'm not against covering anime. I have covered some, like I covered the actress for Doraemon, but typically I'll go for live action actors or directors or writers, stuff like that. So I won't do them. That's Mototsuke Takahashi. Not familiar, but they've definitely worked on some notable stuff. Shun Oide. Okay, here we go. 34 credits on IMDb, some TV stuff. It's like quite a bit of TV stuff. Not a lot of movies. I'll keep them open for now, though. Yoshinori Nakai, also someone in animation. Zenko Suzuki. Ah, not an actor. Looks like they were in something. Let Poland be Poland as self. Interesting. Ko Nakajima. And they only directed one short film, at least as far as their credits are concerned. So our closest option seems to be this person. So next I'll open their profile on Letterboxd. Which actually first, I have a better way of doing that. I can just do that. Shun Oida. Ooh. So sometimes Letterboxd will have a link to their Wikipedia page, which is nice, but they don't here. So TMDB, and we can get their Japanese name, their kanji, and try that. Looks like we've got them in Wikipedia right here. 111, 1941. That's probably our guy. Graduating from university. He joined General Company. But also, I do use the automatic translate, which is not good. It can definitely cause a lot of confusion. So I wouldn't recommend it for like actually trying to get definitive information because it might mix things up and make it so you get the wrong information on accident. Like it's very bad with knowing the gender of its subject. So it will say like he when it's talking about like a woman and you don't know, and it's very confusing. It can get very confusing very quickly. The reason I was frustrated and anxious. I'm just skimming right now. If I choose this person, I'll fully read their page here. He started in 2025. He started reading aloud and live streaming on YouTube. Does it have a link to his YouTube page? That sounds interesting. He said, "My dream has not changed since I was young. Alcohol, cigarettes, and plays." Huh. Yeah, this is definitely our person. I don't know if we'll cover them though. They don't have like a lot of information on them. And generally, if they have a decent amount of information online about them, you'll generally find it on their Japanese Wikipedia page. Or at least like links to other stuff that has more information. Here is his YouTube channel. I guess we can look at it real quick. Last streamed 3 months ago. Or 2 months. Oh, okay. His last video was 2 months ago. And I don't know if you guys can hear this or not. I'm not sure if I have it set up properly. Wait. Maybe. This is nice. You could fall asleep to this. I like the music. Well, I don't want to play too much of that. That's cool. I love when actors do kind of weird things like that. Or, not just actors, but writers, anything. Huh. Well, I'll definitely at least get them down in my Obsidian. Okay, so we've got that. Did it link to his JMDB? Yes. Okay. So here's what I'll do. Whoops. Okay. So I go to my Obsidian. He was born on 1941, 111. So it'll fit in if I can not misclick. There's that one. It'll fit in right here. 1941, 01, 11. His name is it's gonna be long O. So I use character map. I don't know if there's a better way to do this. There's like shortcuts I can use or something, but yeah, so I get like, I forget what this is called when it has accents over it. I get that from the character map. So Ide Shun. Or Shun, yeah, Shun. Dictionary. And I make their page. And then I move that to the actors directory. And I have a person template. Templates in Obsidian are one of the main reasons I love it, as well as the linking. Templates and linking are, I love them. I love that. Okay. Get his name in kanji here. He was an actor. Sure, he did some other things, but that's his primary role. Put his birth date again. He has not died, so that can be left alone. Then I'll get the links. So link to Letterboxd page. Link to his IMDb page. A link to his JMDB page. And the link to his Wikipedia page. And that's about it. Now, if I was choosing him, I'll do this. Why not? Let's start creating notes. And this might include links. So like his YouTube channel here. That's interesting. So I'll have a link to that. I think it's X account's probably about the same sort of stuff. Yeah. Probably want to include the other links here. Yeah, I would include links like maybe some, or notes like maybe some of his more notable films and shows, and then just a bit about his life as I read through it. But since there's not a lot here to go on, I probably won't be doing him. Specialty is Japanese dance. Favorite foods are Odin and potato salad. I do love potato salad when it's made well. Favorite alcohol is red wine. Nice. All right. That's one day down. Now we'll go to the next. Now, again, I likely missed some people there. And there are other ways of finding people, such as Wikidata, but I'm a little out of practice, so I kind of want to do that again on my own first, figure it out, make sure I remember how to do everything, and then I'll do that in another video. So let's move on IMDb to the 12th. All right, nobody I have currently qualifies. So let's look who's in here. 2000, or that's when they debuted. Ai Hashimoto. Looks like an idol, maybe. Oh, I recognize her. She's in Busu. which is a very good movie that I've talked about a bit on the channel before. Oh, an XXaholic. XXXholic. Um, wait, is she in Busu? No, 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 no. I'm misremembering. She does look like the actress that is in Busu though. But yeah, XXXholic is the one I would know her from. Anyways, when was she born? 1996, maybe. Typically, I don't cover young people because they haven't really. There's not a lot yet to talk about. They haven't fully lived their life. That's kind of what I like to go into is people who have had a lot of experience. But she is worth getting down for my Obsidian later. So we have another one, Miki Nakatani, actress. Okay, good choice. No. 1993, 1951. Got 49, 85, another from 1951. 1935, 07, 87, 69, 92, 39, 99, 1896. Nice. Okay. And writer. Mei Tanaka, 1997, 1952, 1923, 1998, 45, 96. Okay, well, I'll skip that one. 1971. Okay, that's everybody. Let's see. 130 credits. 1951. A good option. Keep that open. Reiko Tokunaga. 5 credits. Yeah, I'll skip her for now. Or him. I didn't pay attention to the name. Nobuko Yoshiya from 1896. This is an interesting one. 37 writers. 37 writing credits. So he might have been a writer and not really directly worked in television, which is interesting. I do consider them. They are good options. So I'll leave that open. Miki Yoshino. Like looked like she primarily worked in animation. So pass on that one. She's got 73 credits, so we'll take her. Okay. All right, we've got some people to get down. We'll go, let's try to do oldest to youngest. And we'll start with Nobuko Yoshi. Again, we'll go to their Letterboxd page. Cool. I always love covering women as well. Very easy to just stay covering men, but it's nice to be able to cover women. Okay, so let's do W. Nice, we got our page here. Typically, when it's a writer, they don't link to their JMDB on Wikipedia for whatever reason. So, JMDB, whoops, typoed. There we are. Looks like she's got 58 credits, actually. Quite a few more than what IMDb has for her. And there's a lot on here that could potentially be good for a video. All right, so 1896, 112. Yoshi Yano. Oh, yeah. Yoshiya Nobuko. Okay, and then the person templates. And then move this to the writers. The writers. Hello, writers. Probably overlooking it right now. Oh. I don't know where it was. I wasn't seeing it. Anyways. Okay, and then we get our kanji name. It was a writer. And she was born in 1896, so 112. And died on 1973, 7/11. Very good. Okay. Then we go to links. Box link. Again, this might be inefficient. Who knows? There's probably shortcuts and whatnot I could take, but this is how I do it. Okay. Now, and I'm not going to take notes on her right away, because what I want to do, maybe try to, whoops. Yoshinobu. Let's maybe try to reduce some of these tabs first. So let me get these other people done as well. We have Sansei Shiomi. Oh, he has a very recognizable... Yeah, I've definitely seen him in some stuff. He has a very recognizable face. Okay, we have a link to his Wikipedia page here. Now you go to the Japanese version. There's just always more information on the Japanese one. And then go to his JMDB. Okay. And we have everything. 1940. Oh, this is a different birth date. It says 1951. Oh, the letterbox has it right, but IMDb has 51 here. Let's see. Does translate this? I do come across this fairly often where it's incorrect. Usually it's like, oh, they're born on February 12th instead of January 12th. Or like this case, it's a different year. I don't know how that happens, especially 48 to 51. It's a very strange, incorrect thing to get, but it happens. Let's see. Does Wikipedia provide a source? Let me see. Oh. Character record. That might be a good source. (1948). Or his official website. That might be a good place if he mentions when he was born. Profile. Yeah. Okay. So now here's what we do. If you're a good user, I believe it's here it is. Edit page. And you can find birth dates here. Date of birth. Here we are. Correct / delete. We're going to correct this. Okay, and then it will have you provide, first you want to provide the link. See, it says here, the URL must be placed before any other text in the explanation box. And they are pretty strict about this stuff, so place the URL first. Usually do a couple spaces, even though it doesn't do anything when it's rendered. But and I'll put the little bit of the explanation. Oh, and make sure I correct it first before I forget. 1948. Double check. Never trust your brain. January 12th, 1948. January 12th, 1948. Okay. According to his official website profile, he was born on January 12th, 1948. And not on. Not in 1951. Hey, that should be good enough. Also, is it Kyoto, Japan, right? Yes, Kyoto Prefecture. Okay. Oops. Okay. And updates. All's good. You'll get like green, and then you submit. And then you'll get an email, and you'll be able to track. See? And then this will be going. It usually takes a few days, maybe a week or so. Can I see my contribution history? I haven't done a ton, but I've done some. Here's the most recent. I wonder if this was addressed. Thank you for your contribution. It's still waiting. Okay. Yes, always try to submit correct information when you can. And I accidentally closed his IMDb page, but it's easy enough to open up. Here we are. Okay, back on track. I'll keep his website open because I'm gonna get that. We'll now add him on Obsidian. 1948. Even though he doesn't apply anymore, I've already got all his stuff all of his stuff open, so might as well. Shiomi Sansei. Sansei is an interesting name, like sensei. So delete. I typoed his name as well. Shiomi. Right? Shiomi. Okay. What? All right. Add that to dictionary. Get the person templates. Move this to actors. I get his kanji. Role as actor. Born in 1948. 01/12. And he has not died. It's good. Letterbox link. Then we get his IMDb link. His JMDB link. It's like he was in quite a bit of V cinema, which makes sense. He's got the face for it. I don't know. If you've seen V cinema or gangster films in general, I guess he's definitely got the face for it. And gonna add his personal websites to the note. Okay, now I can go to the next person. We've got Miki Nakatani. I don't immediately recognize her. Open her up on Letterboxd. Oh, she's in the world of Kaneko. And Ring is Mai Takano. I don't know what character that is. Is that the main? That's not the main character, is it? Is it? I don't remember. Okay. Well, she might be interesting then. Okay. Let's open up her Wikipedia page. Again, we go to the Japanese version. There's always more information, or almost always. There's rare occasion where the English or maybe the French version will have more information. But generally speaking, the Japanese version has the most. Let's see. It does not link to her. Well, actually, she might not have a JMDB page. When was her earliest? She might have a few credits there. Let's bring it up. Whoops. Yeah, she's got a few. I always wonder about titles like this, where it's got the katakana chaos, and then in English chaos as well. Do you say chaos, chaos? I'm sure you don't. You just say chaos, but it's always funny. Okay, let's get her in Obsidian here. Make sure the birth date's right. 1976, a 112. Yes. 1976, a 112. And her name again is Takatani. Right? Yes. Mike, which. How do I not have. Or Miki, sorry. How do I not have Takatani saved in the dictionary? Or Nakatani. Anyways. Nakatani. Okay. Then we got person templates. Move this file to actors. Is there kanji, actress. You can see once you're doing this, you can get pretty quick. That's if I'm not like talking through all of it. That's how I have a lot of names in here. I've done this many, many times. Okay, she's alive. Get her letterbox. Do by billing order. Oh, she's in Loft as well. I have not seen Loft, but it's a Kiyoshi Kurosawa film that I've been meaning to check out. IMDb. JMDB. And of course, her Wikipedia page. What does her English page look like? A similar amount, but let's see. A Japanese actress and singer who began her professional career as a member of the girl group Sakurako Club. Nakatani focused on acting after her departure from the band, making her debut on the popular television drama Under the Same Roof. She relaunched her music career under the tutelage of producer Ryuichi Sakamoto. That's awesome. In 1996, releasing 3 albums. Shokumotsu Rensa Cure, 1997. Oh, interesting. And Shisei Katsu, 1999. Her best known songs include Mind Circus and Suna no Kaijutsu, which peaked at number 10 on the Oricon charts, which I don't know. I don't have any reference. I'm sure that's good. As an actress, Nakatani has received 6 Japan Academy Awards for her roles in When the Last Sword is Drawn. Okay, that's a Yoji Yamada film, right? Memories of Matsuko, which I plan on watching sometime this month. And Zero Focus, among others. She is most known internationally for her role as Mai Takano in the Japanese horror film franchise Ring. Nakatani played Jun Shibata on the television drama Keizoku, which spawned a special and a film. Okay. From 1998 to 1999, Nakatani starred in a trio of horror films, Ring, Rasen, and Ring 2. That's Spiral, right? Followed by a lead role in Hideo Nakata's Chaos in 2000. That same year, she reprised her television role as Jun Shibata in the mystery film Keizoku. In 2005, oh, hello, Chill Beat Bass. In 2005, she co-starred in Kiyoshi Kurosawa's horror film Loft. Yeah, that's one I want to see. And portrayed the love interest Hermes in Densha Otoko. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know this. It's like a for her performance in the title role of Matsuko Kawajiri in Tetsuya Natsuma's 2006 film Memories of Matsuko, she won the Best Actress award. Okay, 34. Yeah, she might be worth covering actually. So definitely save her as well. Yeah, I did not realize she starred in. She was the star of Ring in Ring 2. Okay. Next, I will do Ai Hashimoto. That's kind of funny that the English and Japanese Wikipedia pages have just like slightly different photos for her. It's like from the same event, but just a slightly different pose. Okay. She was born on 1996, 112. Hashimoto Ai. Uh, she probably doesn't. Let me see. When was her first film? Earliest? Yeah, 2008. So she would not have a JMDB page. They stopped doing it around 2004, I want to say. Okay. So for now, I'm going to go back to the writer Yoshia Nobuko and read a bit about her. I'm going to go to the English page actually, see what they have. Yeah, they have quite a bit on the English page. So I'll read that because it's probably easier to read. Nobuko Yoshia was a Japanese novelist active in the Taisho and Showa period of Japan. She was one of one of modern Japan's most commercially successful and prolific writers. Okay, specializing in serialized romance novels and adolescent girls fiction, as well as being a pioneer in Japanese lesbian literature. Okay, that's cool, including Class S genre. Hmm, I don't know what Class S genre is. It's known as Esu Konkei, an abbreviated S or Esu, a social practice that has emerged in the 20th century, most commonly expressed as a relationship between a younger and older student at an all girls school. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Hmm. I didn't know there was a name for that. Class S genre. Let's see. One of the how do they word it? Modern Japan's most commercially successful and prolific writers. Yeah, okay. Modern. Prolific. Can't type. Of romance novels and adolescent girls fiction. Make this a separate one. She was also a pioneer. Yeah, I know. I mean, that's why I love reading about people I would have never heard of her either. That's the whole point. Let's see. I lost my place now. Oh yeah, she was pioneer in Japanese lesbian literature. Maybe that's why you haven't heard of her. Maybe unless you're into that sort of stuff, you wouldn't have gotten into it. Class S genre. If I want to get that part now, I'll just keep lesbian literature. Several of her so several of her stories have been made into films, which is why we might cover her. Okay, she was born in Niigata Prefecture, but grew up in Mooka. I don't know how you say that. Mooka. I don't think it's Mooka, no. Mooka, right? In the Toji Prefecture. I also don't know that prefecture. Where is this? Huh. Her father was first. What is this? Was first a police officer, then became a local county government official as her family relocated often to accommodate transfers. That's annoying. She was the only daughter and youngest of 5 children in her family. I feel like writers tend to have huge families for some reason. It seems pretty often where it's like, oh yeah, she was the youngest of 11 children and the only daughter, so 5 boys as well, or 4 boys. Both her mother and her father came from samurai families. Interesting. Her middle class, culturally conservative parents trained her for the good wife, wise mother role expected of women in Meiji Japan. Her literary career began when she was in her teens. In 1915, she moved to Tokyo, where she began to diverge from Japan's gender expectations. Yoshia often dressed in androgynous style, including in magazine photo sessions. She was one of the first Japanese women to emulate Western fashion in the 1920s by cutting her hair short. Yeah, you can see in that picture, yeah, short hair. She designed her own house and was one of the first Japanese women both to own a car and a racehorse. That's so sick. She designed her own house and was one of the first women to own a car and a racehorse. That's kind of crazy. In 1938, Yoshia joined the Pen Butai Pen Corps, a government organization of authors who traveled to the front during the Second Sino-Japanese War to write favorably of Japan's war efforts in China. Yeah, they needed some people to do that, didn't they? She and Fumiko Hayashi were the only women writers in the group. This name is vaguely familiar. Fumiko Hayashi. Did I cover? I must have come across her at some point. Late Chrysanthemum. Oh, okay, yeah. These are pretty major works. Yeah, I've definitely seen her name before. Yoshia lived in Kamakura, Kanagawa Prefecture during and after World War II. In 1962, she built a traditional wooden house with Japanese-style garden in a quiet area which she willed to the city of Kamakura on her death, to be used to promote women's cultural and educational activities. She died at age 77 of colon cancer. Her house is now the Yoshia Nobuko Memorial Museum and preserves the study as she left it, with items such as handwritten manuscripts and favorite objects on display. Okay, that's pretty cool. I wonder if that's still open. Is open only twice a year, in early May and November, for 3 days each time. Wow, that's a pretty short window to try to visit. Her grave is at the temple Kotoku-in in Kamakura. She had a relationship with Monma. Chio Monma. In January of 1923, Yoshia met Chio Monma a mathematics teacher at a girls' school in Tokyo. They would go on to have a romantic relationship for over 50 years. Wow. Unlike many Japanese public figures, she was not reticent about revealing details of her personal life through photographs, personal essays, and magazine interviews. In 1926, they established a collaborative working relationship of author and secretary. In 1957, Yoshia adopted Monma as her daughter. Huh. She adopted her as her daughter. The only legal way for lesbians to share property and make medical decisions for each other at the time. That's gotta be weird. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, but I really hope they weren't calling each other mother and daughter. Uh, they both traveled together to Manchuria, Soviet Union, stayed for a year in Paris, and then returned via the United States to Japan from 1927 to 1928. In the late 1930s, they also visited the Dutch East Indies and French Indochina. Huh. Very, very interesting life. I'm pretty sure, like, Miki Nakatane is cool too, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to choose her to cover because this is there's so much. Like, this is one that I love because if I'm doing a short, there's way too much here for me to cover. I have to, like, cut to try to figure out what to include in the 60-second short, which is always the better option than trying to, like, dig up any little thing I can to include. A literary career. One of Yoshia's early works, Hanamonogatari, Flower Tales, is a series of 52 tales of romantic friendships, became popular among female students. Most of the relationships presented in Flower Tales are about unrequited love, pining from afar, and or having unhappy endings. These stories often depict female desire with a dreamy writing style. I'm going to butcher this. Yanera no Nishojo is thought to be a semi-autobiographical and describes a female love experience between dorm mates. In the last scene, the two girls decide to live together as a couple. This work criticizes a male-oriented society and presents a strong feminist attitude. Her Chi no Hate Made won a literary prize from the Sashi Shimbun and reflects some Christian influence. That's curious. In 1925, Yoshia began her own magazine, Kuro Shobi, which she discontinued after 8 months. After Black Rose, Yoshia began presenting adult same-sex love as being akin to sisterhood and complementary of heterosexuality. Yoshia's other major works include a lot of names. I'll skip the titles there. Literary style. Her stories of dosei and female friendships had a direct influence on later shoujo manga. That makes sense. This was particularly reflected in the development and popularization of the unique Japanese genre Class S. Seeing that again. One of the main inspirers and influential authors was Yoshia. By creating works in this genre, she was able both to strengthen the romantic friendship in Japanese culture for many years to come, and to become one of the pioneers of Japanese lesbian literature. Yoshia explored two main themes throughout her work: friendship between women and the idea of the ideal male. Her works are keenly aware of contemporary sexology. Is that really a... I probably shouldn't click on that. Okay, we're not seeing anything. Okay. I've never heard it called sexology, but okay. A characteristic element of her style is the image of a very close female friendship as a platonic love between girls, often passing along with their youth, but allowing girls to socialize and build strong bonds based on love and sisterhood. This gave her friendship description a rather melodramatic look, full of romantic metaphors or overt lesbian subtext. Due to this, many of her stories actually represented the image of lesbian attachment as an important and strong relationship, which, however, was a fleeting element of youth and passed along with the maturation of the girl and her marriage. Yeah, it sounds like what you might even consider like tropey today. Although Yoshia herself was never out in the modern sense of the word, she openly lived in a lesbian relationship with another woman. In connection with this fact, many of her works, and especially early ones, are considered by literary critics as autobiographical, or even the first Japanese works in the genre of lesbian literature. As already mentioned, this was especially felt in her early works, often depicting unrequited love or craving from afar, which can be viewed as a subtle depiction of the author's personal youth lesbian experience. Her work in this period often has a sad and cruel ending, making exhaustive use of death from unrequited love or the double suicide of girls as a result of the threat of marriage to their relationship. In the future, these tropes will be widely used in the early works of Yuri as a way to make the story more melodramatic and save the work from censorship, which did not allow a positive image of lesbian relationships. At the same time, although she continued to develop her sensual, nostalgic, and emotional narrative style, the relationship between the heroines in her subsequent works began to be portrayed as more platonic rather idealizing friendships and sisterhood between innocent girls than any open or implied lesbian attachments. During this period, she gained wide recognition as the author of youth women's literature. She became the platonic nature of because of the platonic nature of the relationship. Her work was not considered as something immoral, and girls and young adult women found attractive her ideals of eternal friendship, idealized sisterhood, and a realistic depiction of the lives of women of today to her. Though an ardent feminist, Yoshia mistrusted political parties and never became active in organized Japanese feminist movement. Wow. So, what movies is she credited with? None that I've seen. I recognize this poster. I'm surprised there's not like more modern ones. Let's see. It looks like most of them are from like pre 50s. The newest first. The Sweet Interns, Kaze no Uchi Sote, or Soto, Flowers Yearning. Most of these probably aren't really even available now. I know I've seen this poster, Flower Picking Diary. Hmm. Yeah, it's no wonder she's not too well known now because, at least film wise, there doesn't seem to be much available. I wonder if her books are still being printed much. Did they have links to her works? Let's see. Hmm. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, if these books were still like well known and like talked about now, you'd probably have like links to their pages on Wikipedia. What are the best comedies to learn Japanese? Oh, I don't know. I don't really know Japanese. So I'm not a good person to ask. Best comedies. Hmm. I'm also just thinking about comedies in general in Japan. Let's see. I don't know if you're a big letterbox user, but I am. House is a comedy, I guess. It is kind of funny, but yeah, it's not a comedy. Porco Rosso. Oh, Tokyo Godfathers. Actually, it's also not a comedy. Very much a drama, but might be good for learning Japanese. There are plenty of English related phrases as well, since it takes place around New Year's, Christmas. Um, Ohio, good morning. That might be a good one. has children, so I might have some easier language in there. Mind game, I imagine, would be difficult. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have good answers for you. I'm sorry. Oh, actually, Studio Ghibli films might be good as well. My Neighbor Yamadas. My Neighbors the Yamadas. Although I think there's quite a bit of fast talking in that film. Might be hard to understand. Yeah, that's something you probably want to do your own research on that. Okay, so as for Nobuko Yoshia, I'm almost certainly going to cover her. Let's see. I'm trying to decide. This is one where there's a lot of information. I have to choose what I want to put down in my notes. 5 children. Both her mother and her father came from samurai families. Middle class, culturally conservative. She was trained to be a good wife. That's okay. She was trained. Okay. She moved to Tokyo in 1915. Yeah. Yeah, this one's the craziest thing. She designed her own house and then also was one of the first Japanese women to own both a car and a racehorse. Yeah, the funeral might be a good choice. I haven't seen it in a bit. I feel like, well, yeah, Juzo Otami is pretty good in general, I think. But some of his works might have also pretty fast talking people. I don't remember. Yeah, the funeral might be a good option though. It's also got a lot of like cultural language, right? For stuff that revolves around the funeral. That might be good. Let's see. She designed her own house and was one of the first Japanese woman to own a car and a racehorse, which is absolutely insane. I wonder why she had a racehorse. It doesn't really mention anywhere else that she was interested in horse racing. She must. She would have loved Uma Musume. In 1938, she joined the Penn Corps. Now it says she joined, and not that she was like conscripted or something. So I wonder if she chose to do this, which would be interesting. Right, favorably of Japan's war efforts in China. Hmm. Yeah. You can't just go by one word though to know whether or not it was a choice or something she was made to do. But I will include this 1938. 1938. She joined the probably link to this actually because I Ben Corps government officers travel to the front during the right favorably. Oh, okay. I don't need all that. She and Fumiko Hayashi. Actually, do I have her? Hayashi. No. Fumiko. Still do this though. The only woman riders in the group. Okay. World War II. Nice built. Okay. Also cool. In 1962, she built a traditional wooden house with Japanese style garden in a quiet area, which she willed to the city of Kamakura. Okay. She later willed this to the city of Kamakura. Death. And it became the Yoshia Nobuko Memorial Museum. Died at 7 from colon cancer. Age, I believe it was 50 years, right? For over 50 years. Relationship for over 50 years with Chio Monma. Hmm. Okay, let's see. Okay. The relationship started in January 1923. They developed a working relationship in 1926. Oops, 26. And then 1957, Yoshia adopted. This is crazy still. Yoshia adopted Monma as her daughter in order for them to be able to live together and share the property. I wonder how that works as well. I wonder why you can. Oh, well, actually, yeah, that makes sense. And medical decisions for each other. Daughter, so they could share property and make medical decisions for each other. Traveled a lot, but I don't need to include that. Let's see. She did a lot of works, but I don't know. I would only want to maybe note maybe one or two of them, but I don't know which ones are the most notable. Early works, one of hmm. This one won a prize. Let's see. To the ends of the earth. 1920 won a literary prize from the Asahi Shimbun. The Asahi Shimbun. She began her own magazine. That's pretty notable. Well, it was only around for 8 months. Yoshio's other major works. I wonder what happened. Let's see. If I look her up. Well, actually, let's go to like Amazon or something. I don't ever go on Amazon, I think. Let's see. The first one that comes up is Yellow Rose. There might not be a lot translated. There's a picture of her. Italian. So, I wonder. Is Yellow Rose mentioned here? Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know what would be like her most notable works. I could have to look. I'll have to look into that maybe another time. Later. A lot of this is mostly repeated information or like superfluous. Don't really need that for the notes. Yeah. Very, very interesting person. And that's exactly why I love doing this. Never would have heard of her before. She reminds me a bit of there was a producer I covered as well. She was an early, maybe one of the first female Japanese female producers. And I've forgotten her name, which is horrible. But she was also very interesting. Okay. All right, next we'll do I'll keep next we'll do Nakatani Miki. Not nearly as much information on her. She's a Japanese actress and singer who began her professional career as a member of the girl group Sakurako Girl Club. Did I already read that? Oh, I did read this earlier, didn't I? Okay, this is she relaunched her music career under the tutelage of producer oops, if I can type it. Actually, Sakamoto Ryuichi in 1996. Wow, 6 Academy Awards, Japan Academy Awards. He won 6 Japan Academy Awards. Again, I really want to see. I'll be seeing Memories of Matsuko sometime this month for sure. I'm excited to see that. All right. Yeah, there's not a whole lot here that I want to note down. Plenty of notable films, though. In that regard, she might be more worth covering on this channel, but I don't know. We'll see. All right. We can go to the 13th now. All right. So we have Masayuki Mori, born on 1911. Shinji Somai was born on January 13th, but not a year we can cover right now. Actually, I already have Mori Masayuki, but do I have notes? I do not have notes. It has information. Okay. Chara, 98, okay. 82, 75, 38. 63, 68, 47, 72. Okay, 81. $18.69. Wow. 1901. Another 1901. All right. Let's look at this person. This is Seiko Noguchi. Yeah, not a whole lot of film stuff here. TV series mostly, or almost entirely. Okay, we got Simon Katoka, 1901, and a lot of films with no posters, which means there's probably no information about them either. But we might look at them. Okay, and then Kaoru Ishikawa. Similar, but not nearly as many films. Let's skip that person. Let's look at Salmon Kataoka. Look at their Letterboxd page. Only 4 films on Letterboxd. Only one of them with a poster. TMDB doesn't even have their name in kanji. Now there is ways to find people like that, but that might be a bit too much for this. I'm almost certain we would find very little to no information on this person, at least on the internet. All right, next we have somebody we already have links for and everything, which is nice. Thank my past self for that. So now go to page, and we can get notes. Masayuki Mori. I don't immediately recognize him. Oh wow, he's in a lot of notable films though. Oh, yeah, this picture is much more. Why do they use this picture on here? I do not recognize him as this. Yeah, here on Letterboxd, that's a very recognizable face. Okay. Open his Wikipedia page. Go to his Japanese page. Find a JMDB link. I've already got all that, so I don't know why I did that. Habit. Okay. Now, I don't generally like reading, especially out loud, the translated Japanese page because the translation is horrible. But it is serviceable, we'll say. Let's see. Born in Hokkaido, his father was a novelist. In 1911, he was born as the eldest son to Takero Arishima, who was a teacher in Sapporo at the time, and his mother Yasuko, who was also the daughter of Army General and Baron Mutsuomi Kamio. He had 2 other younger brothers. A baron. That's kind of awesome. He lived in Sapporo until he was 3 years old, but in 1914, his mother developed tuberculosis. And she was treated by a famous doctor. The family moved to Arashima residence in Kojimachi, Tokyo, which was the former Flag Motto residence. What does that mean? Flag Motto residence. Originally under the banner of the captain on the battlefield and escorted the captain in general among the vassals directly under Tokugawa shogun family in the Edo period. Huh. Refers to a person who is direct minister of the shogun, has a salary of less than 10,000 koku, and is allowed to have audience with the shogun. So flag motto is definitely like a bad translation here. I don't think it's called the flag motto resonance. I doubt it. I'm sure it's something else. However, in 1916, his mother died of illness, and in 1923, he lost his father Arashima in his heart because of his heart, probably, and was raised by his uncle Arashima Ikuma and others, along with two younger brothers. 1922, he transferred from Bancho Elementary School to Seijo Elementary School. It is always crazy to me that when you read these pages, like one of the most common things that like even if they know hardly anything about the person, they'll know like what elementary school they went to. And it's like, did they really keep that detailed of records for elementary schools for some reason? It's very interesting. In 1931, he entered the Department of Philosophy, Kyoto Imperial University in 1931, majoring in aesthetic and art history, but dropped out. The reason that I suffered from caries. What is caries? We're learning a lot of new things today. Caries is a medicine that means a condition in which bone marrow tissues, such as the spine and teeth, have fallen into caseous gangrene. Oh, that's unfortunate. In my chest in the following year, and spent the next 4 years fighting the disease. Wow, I didn't know. Huh. I chose I chose rather to go to the theater than studying because I had a strong desire to become an actor. Uh, Path to the theater. In 1925, he visited the Tsukiji Small Theater, which sounds familiar, and was impressed. He aspires to be a stage actor since his days at Seijo High School. In 1930, he appeared as an extra in the company's The Adventures of the Brave Soldier Schweck. What is that? The Brave Soldier Schweck. In 1931, the Urban Modern Student Theater Troupe, theater comedy, was formed and participated and led by Atsuro Konosugi of Keio French and Teruko Nagaoka, who returned to France. From the first performance, he began to call himself Masayuki Mori and was expected to have a future with performances such as The Play is a Good Choice. But around this time, he suffered from caries in his chest and spent about 4 years fighting the disease. That's rough. After being cured of the illness in 1931, he joined the formation of the literary theater of Kunishi Kishida and Toyo Iwata and decided to establish himself as an actor in earnest. He attracted attention and for his sophisticated performances in comedies and romantic dramas. And in 1940, he became a standing committee member of the literary theater with Haruko Sugimura and Ken Mitsuda. It's a surprising amount of people that seem to have been higher up. Like, I wonder how I don't really know how the structure of like these theaters worked. Like a standing committee member, exactly what would that be? In terms of hierarchy of the theater. In 1943, Sugimura played the role of married couple. Countryside became long run. This is rough. And the following year, in 1944, Kitasato Shibasaburo played Fury Waves, received rave reviews for his role. He established a firm position in the world of pre-war stage theater, but left the literary theater in the same year. After the war in 1945, he appeared in the first new play after the war, Cherry Blossom Orchard, and then participated in the formation of the Tokyo Metropolitan Theater. That's another thing. Like, what does it exactly mean? Participated in the formation? Like, was he just like a regular guy who just happened to be there at the beginning? You know, setting up chairs. Are you a? You're setting up chairs. Obviously, he wasn't. He was an actor, but you know what I mean. Is it somebody who was there who happened to be like setting up stuff? Is he also part of the formation? I would assume so. But I don't know if that's really a significant thing or not. It's hard to say. He joined the formation of the predecessor of the theater company Minge, People's Art Theater. Osamu Takizawa, Shigeyoshi Uno, and others led the post-war New Theater world, but in 1949, tired of ideological internal strife, he left the People's Art Theater. After leaving the folk art group, he belonged to the New School for about 10 years. In addition, he participated in he participated in the performance of the theater company Minge as a freelancer. Since the 1950s, he has been on the stage of new plays, such as literary theater, as a freelancer, and has also actively appeared in plays such as the theater company Shimpa and Toho Contemporary Theater, beyond the framework of new plays. This is exactly why I don't like reading the translated ones. I can understand what it's saying, but just it's hard to, you have to do some parsing as you read. Golden Age in film. At first, he was reluctant to appear in movies, but in 1942, at the age of 31, he made his film debut in the Toho film Mother's Map, in which the literary theater co-starred. So what was that? At 31, 1942. Mother's Map. Is that on here? The release date, earliest? No. The earliest on Letterboxd is from 1944. Okay. Oh, he was in the what was it? What's it actually called? Anjo Family Ball, the House of the Anjo Family, or the Ball at the Anjo House. Why is this all together? This led to a full-fledged entry into the film industry, and from this time on, Mori entered the golden age of cinema, mainly in the 1950s. He played an intelligent and nihilistic second film in works such as Kenji Mizoguchi's The Tale of the Rainy Moon, Akira Kurosawa's Rashomon, and Mikio Narase's Floating Clouds, and was active as a star in the acting school. In addition, his films have won the U.S. Academy Awards. Really? Oh, not him, the films he was in. And all three major film festivals around the world, and have won 4 crowns? See below. In 1956, he made his first television appearance with the Arts Festival Encouragement Award from film The Winner, and since then has expanded his activities to TV dramas. Well, I'm afraid to say, it's not been around for a while. Death. On October 7th, 1973, he died of rectal cancer at GK Medical University Hospital at the age of 62. The grave is Tama Cemetery in Kamakura City, Zaikiza Cemetery. The 1972 movie Sword and Flower was a posthumous film, and 1973 Toho Contemporary Drama's New Year's special performance, Niohashi played the role of the father for the last time, and the NHK drama To Kochabamba, broadcast on September 8th of the same year, became a posthumous work on TV. At the time of the performance of both works, he was already suffering from illness and was working with his illness. Okay. I think that's about all I want to read from here. Too much. But yeah, he was in a lot. I know that. And wow, that's a lot of TV as well. I wasn't expecting as much television, which I guess actually that makes sense. That period there was definitely a lot of TV shows, and actors weren't exactly, oh, I'm going to only work in film, or that sort of thing. They definitely did both. And a lot of stage, which that part I did not know about before this. Wow. Wow. He was a busy person. There's a lot of works, especially like most of this is between like what, 30 to 40 years ish. Like from 19. He started in the 40s, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of work in a short, not that long a period of time. Okay. Well, I'll get down the notes for him on my own time. I think that's probably it for today. If you aren't already watching part of the Japanuary challenge on Letterboxd, definitely recommend it. Just watch some Japanese films in January. It's pretty simple. Other than that, though, I'm done for now. I don't know. I don't really have plans for streaming. I just kind of wanted to try this out, see how it is. I'm sure I'll make a lot of tweaks because can you rate my Letterboxd? No. You share it. I'll look at it. Is it the same as your username here? Dune Arma? Or Don Pap. Okay. This is you don't have anything logged of 2 this year. 287 films total. I don't know any of these films. The Tattoo from 1968. 588 Rue Paradise. Or Paradis. And Mother from 1991. I can't rate it. I don't know any of these films. You gotta log a lot more though. 287 films? I'm sure you've watched more than that. You did more? Yeah. Well, I know when I first joined Letterboxd, that was like one of the things I was doing for a long time. I was just looking through, like, just go through the whole list of films. Like, you can just do like by year all, and like just go through. Oh, did I see that one? Okay, yes. Did I see that one? It takes a long time, but yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, no problem. Anyways, I'm wrapping up. I don't know if I'll stream again anytime soon, but any recommendations? Japanese films, not anything specific. Just find something that looks interesting, and I'm sure you'll like it. That's my recommendation. All right, I'm off. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.